The Bible we're looking at in this video is called the Text NET Bible. It comes in a slipcase. This one is the stone leather soft cover, so it is an imitation leather cover. It says, "Uncover the message between God, humanity, and you." And this Bible is something that I would say might be geared a little bit more toward a younger audience. If I just had to describe the feel of this Bible, the look and the feel of it, the aesthetic of it, and the way that they approach it. But really, it could be for any age. It's really just something that's kind of a study or devotional study Bible with a little bit of prompts to help you in your devotional time with the Lord. And maybe someone who's a newer believer, or maybe someone who is not a newer believer but just really needs something for devotional purposes. This is nice. Also, it's the NET Bible, New English Translation. So it is a translation that's more of a mediating translation, a little bit like the NIV. The slipcase on the back does tell you about this Bible. And the retail on this is $49.99. You can get it for cheaper than that, of course. And you can see that this really helps people to, as I said, devotionally go through the Bible by studying using the text method, which is to talk to God, encounter God and humanity, examine your heart, and talk to others to engage with Scripture. So that's just a basic study approach that you see in this Bible. Looking at the Bible itself, that stone color, and there are at least a couple of cover options, different colors that you can choose from. But this one is what they call stone. I like the look of this on the cover, and that is the emblem for the NET Bible. It says the text. It is perimeter stitched. This synthetic material, it doesn't really have what I would call a leather look or feel to it. It's very smooth, but it has a very nice, pleasant look to it. And then you see the spine there. Very minimalistic, but nicely designed. I'm really impressed, actually, with the overall design of this Bible. The pages are just plain edges, but it does have two ribbons. And this one has, I guess you could say, that stone-colored or whitish ribbon, and then a blue ribbon, and they are angle cut and double-sided. So very nice. Nelson is really doing a good job with their Bibles, with the design and the materials. You really get good quality for your money. The inside of this Bible is a paste-down construction. It is a paper, I would say, but it's a nicely coated paper. It has kind of a dot matrix design on it. I don't know if you can see that. And then here is the presentation page. I really like the way that's designed. It's cardstock and it's not glossy, so easy to write on. Here's the title page. This beautiful design to this. The copyright on this is 2022. It is printed in China. Here are the contents. So you have a few things at the beginning. You have the biblical text, and then you also have some reference materials in the back of the Bible. At the beginning, you have a note from the authors who helped to create this Bible, this approach to studying Scripture. You have a to the reader about the New English Translation. You also have explanatory notes. So not a lot of explanatory notes, but there are some at the beginning here. And then you get into the biblical text with a book introduction. So you'll have book introductions for each of the books of the Bible. It tells you about the author, the dates of the book, the key verse from the book, and the purpose of the book, and then gives you a little bit of introductory material. So it's kind of a study Bible light. At the beginning of the books, I think you'll see a little bit more information, but as you get into the books further, And you're going to see some of these talking about God and his attributes throughout the biblical text, kind of scattered throughout occasionally. But as you get into this, you do have some prompts, some helps at the beginning of the book here. But as we go further along, you see just a lot of space there where you can write on this, again, dot matrix kind of a design here. It is a single column format. It looks to me like it's printed in a very dark blue print, which I think is fantastic. That's very easy to read, but has kind of a unique look to it. So a lot of space in this Bible for taking notes. Again, I would just call this a really good devotional type Bible. Good for devotional study. Here's another book introduction. So again, you're going to have these pages talking about the attributes of God as you're studying through the text, and they're just kind of occasionally there. I don't see a pattern to it. They're not necessarily in every book, but you will see things about God and his nature throughout the Bible. There's a look at the poetry. That looks really nice in the single column setting. The font on this, I'm not sure what size print it is, but it is a good size print. And the NET Comfort print is very nice and pleasant to read. It looks like it is line matched. And the paper is, I think, really made to be written on. So it's not a high-end Bible, but the paper is still quite nice. We'll get into the New Testament here. Introduction for the book of Matthew. And again, you have more helps at the beginning of the books. The print is very consistent. It's not a red letter text for the words of Christ, but it's, I think, really nice for reading. And this is a Bible you could take places with you. I'll measure it after I get through the Bible here. It's not a huge Bible. So after the book of Revelation, you do have some charts. Prophecies fulfilled at the cross, the glory of the new covenant, spiritual gifts, 2 types of wisdom, praying the text, index. So I think these would be things that would be prayer prompts, and you can look up the passages they have there. I like this. Again, this is why I say this kind of thing makes it seem more geared to a younger audience. You have hashtags here for different subjects that are addressed throughout the Bible. But instead of just having the subjects, they have them as hashtags. So that's kind of neat. Then you have some reading plans. They have a 30 Days with Jesus reading plan, a 90-day Bible overview. So, again, someone who's new to the Bible, these would be very helpful things, really for anybody. The whole Bible reading plan. They have all the books with check boxes for each of the chapters. Then after your reading plans, you have a concordance. It's a pretty nice concordance, pretty lengthy. And after the concordance, you have a sheet here that has a note regarding the type, and then the color printed Nelson maps, or Zondervan and Nelson maps. And they are on glossy cardstock paper, but printed very nicely. So let's look at the size of this Bible. As I said, it's not too big. It's not as big as a lot of study Bibles. It's about 9 5/8 inches by maybe 6 5/8 inches by a little bit less than 1 3/4. Those measurements are just estimates, by the way. So this Bible is really well done, and I think would be great for devotional purposes, but also could be used to bring to church or youth group or different places. So really another great resource being put out by Thomas Nelson. If you have any questions or comments about this Bible, I'd love to see that in the comment section. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a fresh perspective.